Welcome back to Timeless Wisdom in the Srimad Bhagavatam and the Vedas. Today we explore Canto 1, Chapter 3, Verse 1. This is one of the most foundational verses in the entire Bhagavatam. It is the very first description of how creation begins, the cosmic genesis, according to Vedic wisdom. To understand everything that follows in the Bhagavatam, we must first understand this verse. In the previous chapters, the sage Sutta Goswami has been answering the questions of the assembled sages at Naimisharanya about the avatars of the Lord. Now, Sutta begins his answer at the very beginning, before there was even a universe to descend into. Verse 1 tells us how the stage of creation itself was set. Here is the Sanskrit verse. Sutta uvacha jagrahe paurusham rupam bhagavan mahad adibhi sambhutam shodasha kalam adau loka sisrikshaya. The verse, as translated by Srila Prabhupada in the Srimad Bhagavatam, reads as follows. Sutta said, "In the beginning of the creation, the Lord first expanded himself in the universal form of the Purusha incarnation and manifested all the ingredients for the material creation. And thus at first there was the creation of the 16 principles of material action. This was for the purpose of creating the material universes. Let us understand the core teaching of this verse to humanity. Before there was any universe, before there were stars or atoms, or even time itself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, expanded himself into a special cosmic form called the Purusha. This is Maha-Vishnu, also known as Karanodakashayi Vishnu, the first of the three Purusha avatars. From this single expansion, the Lord drew forth the 16 primary ingredients of the material world, the building blocks of every universe. What are these 16 kalas? Prabhupada explains they are the 5 gross elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether, plus the 11 sensory and active instruments through which living beings would later experience creation. From these 16, every atom, every star, every body, every world is built. They are the cosmic alphabet from which the language of creation is written. Notice the profound order. The Lord does not begin by making galaxies. He first manifests the very ingredients of matter itself. Before the painting, the paint; before the song, the notes; before the universe, the elements. This shows us that creation is not random or accidental. It begins with deliberate, conscious intent, the loka sisrikshaya, the divine wish to create worlds. Consider a modern parallel. Today's physicists speak of the fundamental constants of the universe, the precise values of gravity and the nuclear forces. Change anyone by a fraction, and stars cannot form, atoms cannot hold together, life becomes impossible. Modern science calls this fine-tuning. The Bhagavatam thousands of years ago simply said that the Lord first established the 16 principles, the perfectly tuned ingredients, before any creation could unfold. The universe is not an accident, it is a recipe, and the chef is the original person. Let us reflect on practical applications in our daily life. The first lesson is intention. Before any creation in our own lives, before we build a career, a family, a project, the seed is intention. The Lord himself, in this very first act of creation, begins with intention, sisrikshaya, the desire to create worlds. Our small lives mirror this cosmic pattern. When we begin our day, our work, our relationships with conscious intention rooted in love and service, what we build becomes a small reflection of how the Lord himself begins. The second lesson is preparation. The Lord does not rush. He first manifests the elements, then later builds the worlds. So much suffering in modern life comes from skipping this stage. We rush into action without first preparing the ground. The Bhagavatam teaches us that even God prepares before he creates. We can honor the same principle. Take time to prepare, gather your elements, then build. The third lesson is recognition. Every breath you take contains those 16 principles. The air in your lungs, the warmth of your body, the water in your blood, the earth that became your bones, the space within every cell, all of these are the original gift of the Purusha. When you become aware of this, even simple breathing becomes a remembrance of the Lord. What is the influence of this verse on the younger generation? The young today often feel they must invent themselves from nothing. This verse offers a deeper truth. The very atoms that make up your body were arranged by the Purusha at the beginning of creation. Long before you were born, the stage was set for you. You are not improvising in an empty universe. You are stepping into a creation prepared with infinite care for your arrival. Your existence is not random, it is invited. When you understand this, ambition softens into purpose and anxiety becomes wonder. For our older generation, this verse offers a profound perspective on time itself. We have lived long enough to see how short a human life is. This verse takes us beyond our small timeline. It speaks of the moment before time, the cosmic dawn when the Lord Himself laid down the elements. Our entire life, with all its joys and sorrows, takes place within that vast canvas. As we approach the autumn of life, we can take comfort in this. Our lives, however small, are stitched into the grand pattern of cosmic creation. Nothing has been outside His original design. In conclusion, verse 131 is the cosmic foundation. The Lord, by His own will, becomes the Purusha, draws forth the 16 elements, and prepares the stage for all creation. It is a verse about origins, about intention, about the deliberate love behind every atom of existence. Whenever we look at the world around us, the sky above, our own body, we are looking at the work of the Purusha, the original person, the loving cause behind every cause. Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of timeless wisdom in the Srimad Bhagavatam.